Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we'll see a team that can get it done on the ground. The Cowboys lead the league in rushing TDs, and they'll go up against the Bills, who will need to be stout up front. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they come in on a good run, winners of 5 of their last 7. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by one of the more mobile quarterbacks in the league, and that's Tyrod Taylor.
7-6 as a first-time starter in 2015. He did a really nice job taking care of the football. 20 touchdown passes, just 6 interceptions.
First carry here for Todd Gurley. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. No gain on the play there. Second down. Here comes the D swarming to the line. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 18 carries, 127 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On third down, Taylor. It's caught. Jones. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 3 catches, 64 yards.
When you turn in good, consistent performances each and every week, you will rank in the top 10 in the league in receiving yards, and he's number 7 currently, hoping to move.
And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he is knocked down from the side, right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The play clock's running down. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Prescott now on second down. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 30 yards there. Prescott on first down. And Philip Dorsett holds it in. Give him 30 yards there.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
In motion right, Dorsett. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now out come the Bills. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for second down. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Third and long, it's Taylor. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And taken right on the 30. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. And he'll give it here to his running back. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep it.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. In motion right, Dorsett. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they see it?
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Bruce Irvin coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. On 4th, they do snap it to Prescott. He finds his target, Fuller. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. 22 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be a Dallas 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, his 19th touchdown now of the season. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit. The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
On second down, here's Taylor. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Third and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. From the gun, it's Taylor. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Call it a gain of 3. And it'll be fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Fielded just inside the 20. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Shaq Lawson's one of those guys that after a while you quit just trying to define him by a position. Defensive end, outside linebacker, doesn't matter. He knows how to get upfield and spill some plays.
So disruptive. What makes him so disruptive?
I think it's strength. If you see his upper body, I mean, he's got some strength up there and some really good hands, but he's got some surprising quickness as well to get him upfield.
A second down throw for Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side, and that's caught inside the 30. A big play here for Dallas. 41 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A first down carry by Elliott. 12 more yards there and another first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley in our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
And they'll lose yardage here, knocked back to the 19-yard line. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. Here's Prescott, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
After the interception, here's Taylor. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now Taylor on first down. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. On second down, Taylor. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And he's got some space here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. Taylor will throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. To throw on third down. Taylor hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. 30. The 20. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for him.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And he's able to put it through. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And the Bills are going to recover. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game, as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley.
And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime report. We'll see you in the postgame. We're ready to get to the third quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now, as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And tough going there, as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
In motion right, Dorsett. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Throwing, Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Elliott running right. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Second down, Prescott taking a shot for Samuel. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game being on second half no matter what. With his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point try by Bailey. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to.
Taylor hit. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
To throw is Taylor. Throwing on 3rd and long. He's got a man. Complete. 20, 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown, and the Bills cut into that lead. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 62 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Cowboys will extend their lead. Yeah, he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Taylor is going to let this one go deep. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's 4th down.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And he will finally go out of bounds, but not before he takes it down to the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted.
picked off at the 16. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Past the 20. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Throwing again. Prescott on 2nd and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Shaq Lawson in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, there was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Play action now. Prescott. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Again, it's Elliott. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Here's Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Complete to Dorsett. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
these guys are running offense like you drive, the pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. Whistles now in a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now Elliott. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break it the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back, right at the line of scrimmage.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll push the lead up to 17. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
Now Tre'Davious White on the return. Come the Bills. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and we'll do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Let's go.
Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Demarcus Lawrence in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Here's Taylor, and Matthews has it right side. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear the Cowboys are going to win this football game. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. In motion right, Dorsett. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. And this looks to probably be the final play. Throwing here, Prescott. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this one incomplete. Well, apparently taking a knee is not in vogue. They're not able to add another touchdown on. And now the ball game is over. Well, I know at points in this one you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Dallas, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.